Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Unity CEO, John Riccitiello.
So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unite 2016. It's been an amazing year since many of us got together in Boston for Unite 15. And before we start, I want to thank everyone here for choosing Unity as their platform for development. We never forget how important you are and why you're the lifeblood of our business. Now, as always, we remain committed to three core principles. I talk about these a lot. Democratizing development. This is really all about making it so that everyone can bring their creations to life, whether they're game makers or AR, VR makers. We want to make it possible and easy. Solving hard problems. We support over 25 platforms, beautiful graphics, multiplayer, complex challenges. Products like Atom come out of Unity. These are hard problems. And enabling developer success. I know how hard it is to make a profit in the game industry, and we're here to help you be successful. One of the statistics we're proud of is in the last 12 months, we've actually paid our developers in aggregate more than we brought in total revenue for Unity. We're here to help you be successful in this industry. Now, these three principles, have really got us to a clear understanding of what's important. And at GDC earlier this year, I talked about 4 areas of focus: graphics, quality and stability, efficiency, and platform growth. And I'd like to give you a brief update now on how we're doing on each of these fronts. And I'll start with graphics. Now, graphics is core to what you do regardless of platform. And it's a constant area of focus for all of us at Unity, whether it's a team in Montreal, San Francisco, Bellevue, Ukraine, and importantly, Paris or Copenhagen. And in many ways, I think Atom showed the way. It was a short film created by a very small team using Unity, rendered in real time, so you could see all the possibilities. It used cinematic image effects like screen space and retrace reflections, depth of field, tone mapping, color grading, and more. And all of these are available on the asset store. Now, the team that built this amazing product also put together some custom tools, including volumetric fog, a transparency shader, motion blur, to cover their specific needs. And these assets, too, are available on the asset store, giving you everything you need to create something equally spectacular. Now, we've also, on the graphics side, recruited an amazing team in Paris, and we're going to highlight some of their work today. The idea here is to do even better, cooler, more interesting things. If, in a way, the best talent, the hardest problems. Now, these guys are focusing on very specialized problems, like advanced particles, or lighting, or photogrammetry. And today, you're going to see a couple of demos, and one in particular that highlight their work, and you can see the actual specific tools and how they come together and how they work. Now, this is going to be augmented by some other demos that you're going to see from some of our partners, where you see beautiful games played beautifully and how you can sort of dream of where it all goes. Now, more on graphics. Last year, we announced support for Metal, iOS Metal. We're deepening our support this year, adding CPU instancing on Unity 5.5 and a lot more. Philippe will be showing you a lot about that. We're also talking today about support for Vulkan. Vulkan is the next generation OpenGL. It was designed as a low-overhead API, giving graphics programmers the ability to control and optimize hardware resources to deliver faster and richer graphics on screens. Now, Vulkan can take advantage of multiple CPU cores in parallel to prepare and optimize the work done by the GPU. This power is not trivial to master, not at all. With Unity, you get the benefits of Vulkan without having to know the specifics of the Vulkan API. We're doing the hard work so you don't have to. Seriously, it's easy to use, provides great performance. And then, is sort of new news. As of right now, you can get the preview version of Vulkan at the URL right behind me. So with graphics behind us, I want to now take a little bit of a detour through quality and stability. Now, in March, we held off releasing Unity 5.4 and instead released a more stable version of Unity 5.3. Since GDC, we've been heavily focused on stability and quality. And I can't tell you how serious we've been. To say we're in focus is an understatement. Now, we promised not to promote product features to a stable release until we've gotten sufficient real-life usage and feedback. We've changed our engineering processes to deliver on this promise. We embed QA into teams alongside engineers to improve workflow and catch bugs earlier. We create custom experimental builds for features before merging to trunk to minimize the effect on stability. And in 2017, we'll continue that focus. And as we speak today, we're building out a substantial UK test center to really double down on quality and stability and keeping the platform exactly as you want it to be. So now on to efficiency. We aspire to make our tools more powerful and easy to use. Every release, we make improvements to the editor to make it simpler, more intuitive, more easy to use. Of course, we realize that in addition to making the editor easy to use, we also need to make Unity overall easier to use for teams. Everyone cares about working in teams. Now, we know developers, they want to do all sorts of things together, save together, sync together, code together. And we set out to make a tool that makes it easier for the entire team to create together. And as you know, we created Unity Collaborate, and we've been in closed beta. In March, we soft launched the product, and 12,000 developers signed up to use it. That's 3,000 teams banging on it. We've gotten great feedback from developers, storytellers, VR teams. Collaborate has, in fact, made their lives better and easier because it's simple to use. And today, we're making the beta open to all of you here and everyone around the world. But that's not the only thing we're doing to create and connect you to connect developers together across projects and teams. Today, we're announcing an entirely new platform called Unity Connect. And here to talk more about that is our Chief People Officer, Elizabeth Brown.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I started working at Unity a year and a half ago. We were 500 employees. Today, we're over 1,000. And we've got some of the greatest employees. I'm so proud. Really outstanding talent. So hiring that many employees, man, it was a pain. It was challenging. And I understand a lot of you have those same challenges. In fact, last night I was talking to Sharif from TikTok, and he was sharing the same thing about all the jobs, FYI, TikTok's hiring, all the jobs that they're trying to fill. And I gave him a preview of the product that I'm about to show, and he was pumped. He thinks that this is really going to solve a pain point. And if you're an independent developer, I hear it's also tough to connect to some cool projects. I mean, you want that income coming in, right? And you want a cool project to add to your portfolio, and that can be challenging to connect to that work. So we totally get it, and we've created a platform called Unity Connect. This is a global community of developers right at your fingertips. You guys are going to love this. So here's how it works. So if you're an independent developer, you go on, build your profile, pick a good photo, add in your skills. Make sure you tag all of those good skills, because that's what's going to be searchable and have people find you on the right projects. Include samples of your work, lines of code, whatever. This is your chance to showcase who you are and the kind of work that you want. And then if you're on a studio or a project owner and you're looking for talent, you can go ahead and post a task, a project, and then search and filter for precisely those skills and people that you need and get connected to them pretty quickly. Of course, if you're looking to add to your team long term, you can also post a job. Super cool, right? So at 3 o'clock today, I'm hosting a session where we're going to go into a lot more detail. I also have Ann Evans, who heads up recruiting for Unity, joining me, and we're going to share some tips, insights. I think we're getting pretty good at recruiting, and we wanted to offer up some learning. And also, today, it's open beta. So go on and create your profile, create a project, a task, or post a job, and get ready to find and be found. Thank you, and see you at 3.